Alright, so I know I don't usually post on this channel very much. I think literally the last video I had on here was my rant about normal boots last year and a whole pro Jared situation, but that's not why I'm here. I last night I ended up finishing my playthrough of The Last of Us Part 2, and I guess I just wanted to express my opinions on it and what I thought was good and what I thought was bad and everything like that. But I'm first of all gonna say I apologize for my lighting situation. My lights apparently decided they didn't want to work today, so I'm just here with my using my laptop as my backdrop, or not as my backdrop, but helping with lighting and stuff. But there's that, and if I get too rambly, I apologize. I probably will ramble a little bit like I am right now because this is just there's a lot of shit, and I know there's a lot of discourse, and I've seen so much discourse over this game, and so much drama in general about how this game it came to be and everything, and it's perfectly understandable why. Now that I've finished my playthrough of it, but I guess personally, I thought it was okay. I didn't really think the game needed a. I don't really think The Last of Us needed a sequel. Really, like it would have been nice if there was like an epilogue or whatever. But I personally didn't think it really needed a sequel. I was excited for the sequel, yes. But I just think it was very lackluster to the original, and while there were some aspects that I really liked, there were some aspects, a lot of aspects that I really really didn't like. I guess for the story for me, it was lackluster. I really think they just let the world building go to shit after this for this game, and I mean I can understand that because I mean the first game already set up the world building and stuff like that, but I think especially with the new characters and stuff like that with Abby and the wolves and the Seraphites definitely, I feel like they could have and should have expanded more on all of them and everything. I mean, to me, everything seemed the story just seemed really shallow, and I just didn't really. I liked it, but I didn't. It had some good moments, but it also had some bad moments, really bad moments. But personally, I was okay. Like, just do not shoot me. But I was okay with Joel dying. Yes, was it sad? Absolutely, it was. And I I cried, but it's like, it gave Ellie purpose. It didn't like it just gave her purpose, I felt like, and gave her a reason to move on even if it wasn't the best way to move on essentially. Um but I thought it was okay. And I thought it was, however, really shitty that they portrayed him as, oh, he's going to be in the game. Yeah, he's going to be in the game. You can play him, blah, blah, blah. You play him for the first 20 minutes, and then he fucking dies. And the only times you're able to see him is in flashbacks. And there's literally side by side images from what they used in the trailers to what it is in the actual gameplay as to what Joel actually was. And I thought that was absolutely that was an absolutely shitty thing to do because it's literally false advertising. And I that just really bugged me. I know. Personally, I think the stuff with Abby, I liked her. I actually empathized with her more near the end than with Ellie, because I think Ellie fucked a lot of shit up. But also so did Abby. I know they're both very similar characters. They have similar motives. They had similar reasons why they wanted to, kill each other essentially. And similar goals basically. And I really think the fight at the end was so dumb. I I literally was just shaking my head in disbelief. It's just like, this took 7 years to fucking develop, and this is where we fucking end up at the end. It's like, this is great, but also, no. I really think that Abby was a really great character, and she really had a lot of potential. And so did Ellie. They both have a lot of potential, and I think they still do. I don't know if they're going to be releasing DLC for this game or not. I think it'd be very nice if they would, especially to tie up the loose ends at the end of the game with everything. But I personally think I liked Abby more than Ellie, because I think even though, yes, she killed Joel, she also had a reason why she wanted to hurt him. And even then, she wanted to hurt him, but she also necessarily didn't. And you could see that at the end, too, where she was like, I don't want to fight you. There's literally no point in us. She said, basically said, I don't want to fight you to Ellie. Because she's like, there's literally no point in us fighting. Because there really wasn't. And, like, Abby still had some pretty bad PTSD from it. I'm assuming she did, at least. But with Ellie, it's like Ellie just wanted revenge, and that was it. And I think she let that vendetta cloud her judgment, and that didn't seem right to me, in my opinion. Like, yeah. I think I'd like to see what happens with Abby if they do release a DLC or something to at least tie up some loose ends if this game doesn't get a sequel, which honestly I hope it really doesn't, because I don't think it really needs it personally. Again, that's my personal opinion, but I just hope they tie up some loose ends and explain a little more things, I guess. As for the wolves and the Seraphites and all of them, the wolves I could understand a little bit, because they're basically fireflies just regrouped and stuff like that. But things I didn't really understand was all of the characters that Abby was friends with. So it was, I think, Nora, Owen, Mel, Manny, I don't even fucking remember all their names. I think Sarah's one of them. I don't fucking know. I just have forgotten all their names because I think that's it. It's like they were pointless. Kind of pointless to the story, in my opinion. And it's like, why have them there if they're only going to be there in a couple scenes? Or introduce them to us when they're only going to be there for however many scenes and everything. And I just thought it was really dumb. I didn't really understand Owen and Abby's relationship, because it's like, at the beginning of the game, it was implied that they still had feelings for each other, and that they had just broken up because Mel was with Owen and was pregnant. And, with Abby I think still had feelings for Owen, but they didn't really explain why they broke up. And that's not necessarily a thing that needs to be explained, but I don't know. It just seemed very off to me, especially the sex scene. It's like, I felt like that wasn't really necessary, and I thought it was kind of just kind of dumb. And it's like, I didn't get it, but I mean, it's fucking bad when Lauren Bailey, the actress who played Abby, had to go on Twitter and said, no, I did not motion capture, I did not do mocap of a sex scene with, I don't fucking know the actor for Owen, but she's had to literally go on Twitter and say, I did not do this, I didn't know this was going to, I don't know what she said word for word exactly, but from what I understood, she didn't know that was going to happen, basically. And that, I feel like, was just kind of it's just a weird thing. But other than that, I didn't really know what was going on with that. As for the Seraphites, though, I feel like they definitely could have expanded more on them, besides just saying, oh, they're just this really weird religious cult that kills anybody and everybody that isn't a Seraphite. And it's like, when you were playing with Abby and Lev and Yara, it's like, they kind of sort of alluded a little more to that stuff, but didn't really explain what their motives were and everything. And I think that just kind of the Seraphites are basically just kind of there and just killing people, as well as the wolves and everything else. And that just kind of bugged me. And I was like, okay, I want to know more about these people, but I don't know anything about this, and I can't really look into it and like who these people are / were or whatever. And especially coming from a religious background and stuff like that, it's like you want to learn more about that stuff. At least in my opinion, it would have been nice to at least find out more information about them. And I think if they would do something with a DLC or an epilogue or something, I feel like they should expand more on that and what their motives were and everything. I think a lot of issues I've seen as well as because I am obviously a part of the LGBT community, was the transphobia and the dead naming and all of that stuff. And like I said, I come from a religious background. I've seen it happen. It's happened to me before. It's happened to a lot of my friends. And it's like a lot of my friends were like, oh, this game is bad because it has dead naming and misgendering, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I hate to say it, and I hate that it's a reality that, it's like, I'd like to think there would be a reality where there's no transphobia, no bigotry and stuff like that. But it's the fucking apocalypse, and they're a religious cult. There is a good chance there is going to be transphobia and misgendering and dead naming and all that stuff. And I hate to say that, but it's just, if it's based off of real life, then it's going to happen, unfortunately. And even then, I was told that it's like, oh, Lev gets tortured, blah, blah, blah. There's literally only one scene where, two scenes that I can think of where he really, really got banged up. The one where we found him in the cabin with his mom, and he pushed the mom away, and she hit the table and she died because she was getting aggressive with him and about being trans and stuff like that. And it's like, that's literally self-defense. It's not really torture, in my opinion. And then there was the scene at the end of that part of the game where it was Lev getting attacked by the guy with the scythe, I think it was. I don't remember what weapon it was. I just know it was a really fucking weird fight because half of his face got torn open and he was still fighting me with that. And it was fucking gruesome. That's all I know. And other than that, I was told that it was a really brutal scene and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it really, at least in my opinion, it's like, it wasn't really that brutal. Like, yes, was it bad? Yeah. But I don't think it was really that. It was kind of sort of blown out of proportion. And especially with everything with Ellie and Dina and all of them, and I think it was Seth, yeah, the guy who called them called them dykes at the beginning. Like, that's gonna happen. Unfortunately, it's going to happen. Like, there are still people out there that are going to oppose this and going to oppose what the LGBT people stand for. And I hate to say that, but it's just, it's a reality check, unfortunately. And that's basically what I felt like for the story. I think just, it was good, but it was really lackluster compared to the original. As for the gameplay, it was, I did it on very light mode because I like to focus more on the story and not on the combat, so I don't get frustrated with the combat. And even then, I still got frustrated with the combat. But I think the one thing there were some things I liked about the gameplay. There were some things I didn't really like about it as well. I liked for the reticle, it would show you, oh, there's an enemy here, and it'll show you, like, when they're alarmed and when they know that you're there, and, oh, if someone's behind you or whatever. I thought that was a really nice touch, and I really liked that. But with the other thing, with trying to listen in on where enemies are, even with upgrading it, it just, I didn't like how it was. I didn't like that it was just white blobs on the screen. Even with the second upgrade, saying that, oh, it clarifies it, I couldn't notice a difference between the two, between the pre-clarified and the clarified editions, because it was really hard to tell for me. And I just didn't like that, and especially with having some vision issues already and auditory issues, even with captions on and text to speech on and stuff like that, which is another thing I'll get to in a second. I just thought that was a really dumb thing to do, to not just have the outlines of the enemies like they did in the first game. I did like the trees, like the tiers of, or whatever. If you found the little magazine, or the train catalogs, whatever you want to call them. I liked that aspect. That was really cool. Kind of almost gave me a Fallout vibe with the finding the comics and the magazines and stuff like that in Fallout. I thought that was really cool. The other thing is too, for me, at least for my playthrough of this one, I was very stealthy, which for me, I usually don't do stealth because I'm pretty shitty at doing stealth anyways for the most part from other games I've played. But this game, I was just calling it Metal Gear Solid but with lesbians. That's basically what it was. I was just crawling around on the floor, hoping they didn't see me, and if they didn't see me, I'd just take them down behind them or whatever. And that was that. It was just, that's pretty much it for my gameplay aspects. But as for the accessibility options, that I thoroughly really liked. I thought it was a really nice touch, and I thought that it's so cool that they had text to speech if you are hard of seeing and hard of hearing, and just the accessibility options were really cool. I didn't really explore into them because while I do have physical disability, it's very light. It's very moderate. It depends on the day, but I thought that was a really nice touch, and I'd like to see games like that in the future with accessibility updates and stuff like that, and accessibility options. I thought that was really cool, and wish people, or wish gaming companies would do more of that in the future. I think with the PS5, I think would be a really nice touch. I would assume that's what a lot of game developers are doing, but I don't know. I'm just a simple person who just plays video games and gets frustrated or whatever. But basically, if I'd give this game a rating out of 10, I'd be between like a 5 and a 7 out of 10. Like, it was great, but also not great. I thought that, especially Tommy, I didn't mention this in the story part, but Tommy at the end kind of just was so dumb. I thought it was just really dumb how he was like, you need to go after her, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you literally said in the beginning of the game when this happened, it's like, you shouldn't go after her. It's not what Joel would have wanted, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, Joel wouldn't have wanted that. Joel would have been like, the fuck? Dude, stop. Like, just, it's like, don't avenge me no more. Just live your life with your girlfriend and your fucking kid. Like, stop it. And I think also, as well, they basically just retconned what they taught us in the first game. In the first game, they taught us to not trust anyone, to always look in front of you and behind you in case someone decides to backstab you. And in the first hour or so of the game, when Joel dies, Tommy and Joel are like, oh, we're Tommy and Joel, we're from Jackson, which is right up the road here. Let's just fucking give you supplies and blah blah blah. And then they turn their backs, and then in a room of people that all have guns. And it's like, yeah, they didn't know that they were going to kill them and like maim them, but it's like, you're literally retconning what you taught us in the first game, to not trust anyone. And that really bugged me. It's like, you teach us these things in the first game and basically just put it all to shit in the second game. And yeah, but other than that, I thought it was okay. Again, it was kind of just lackluster for me. Um, would I like to see a sequel? I mean, I guess, but also not really, especially considering all the reviews that are going on right now with this game. I think it really should. I think they should learn what they did wrong in the first or in this game, and take people's opinions very honestly and very, I guess, very to the point. I guess I don't know how to word it exactly, but I feel like they should listen to their opinion, to everyone's opinions on, oh, this was good, this was bad, and everything. And I know a lot of times they won't have time to do that if they are planning on doing a third game. But I just really thought that it was, the ending was just like it's left me speechless because I just didn't know how to react and if it was like a good ending or a bad ending. I thought it was just kind of, it's like Zuko with the fucking map where he's like, what do you mean that's it? Where's the rest of it? It's like, where, it's kind of, just kind of left us on the empty cliffhanger. And while I know they did that kind of sort of in the first game, but it wasn't as, up for debate. I literally looked online last night. I spent like an hour and a half looking online last night to see if there was like some sort of secret ending or something like that, because it's like, there's got to be something. Like, I don't get it. What the fuck is this? And yeah, but I think I should probably stop rambling, honestly, because this is over 20 minutes long now. But that's how I feel about this game. It was good, but it was also bad at the same time. And I I applaud the voice actors. I applaud Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson and Lauren Bailey and whoever else is in this game trying to defend it and everything. Like, that is your work, and I respect your opinion on how you feel about the game. And that's how I feel. It's like, you gotta respect other people's opinions. And I see so many, at least as of late, I've seen so many people in Troy Baker's replies saying, this game isn't good, man. This game did you dirty, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, yes, I agree with that. But also, let him have his own goddamn opinion about how he feels about the game. Like, just take a chill pill and let people enjoy things. And yeah, that's basically all I have to say. I don't know if I'll fucking do anything with this YouTube channel really ever. I'd stream on Twitch occasionally. I streamed the last 3 hours of Last of Us Part 2 on my Twitch. But other than that, I just lurk on YouTube. I just watch a bunch of recommended videos and shit. That's pretty much all I do on here. But maybe I'll upload more. I don't fucking know. But that's basically TLDR. Last of Us Part 2, good but also bad. Very much bad. But, yeah.